Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Dusty, and you're watching me go from zero to hero on a Holy Paladin in the War Within Season 2. In today's episode, we will be tackling +4 keys, or rather a +4 key. So the reasoning behind this is we're going to do all the 2s like we did yesterday, and then we're going to do all the 4s, then the 6s, then the 8s, then the 10s, and then we'll be done. So in today's episode, it being the second episode, we are going to go ahead and do +4s, or a +4, like I said. Let's see, do we get anything juicy from the Blinktron? No, we do not. But let's hope. That way, we've protected ourselves from bad RNG and can now open the vault and get something juicy from probably our delve slot. And we get a chest piece, we get a shield, which is useless, and we get a choker, which is close to useless. But we have, I guess we get hero gear for doing +2s. I didn't know that. I thought we would get 645 gear. So 649 is something at least. These shoulders would be an upgrade. We have a crafted belt, so we don't really care about that. I can't say I'm particularly excited about the mana battery, so I think these shoulders are going to be what we end up going for. Since we already have a hero chest, we will just have to tierify it though. That's one thing we'll have to do. We'll have to spend another charge to tierify the hero shoulder, but I think that's okay. Alternatively, I would have to grab an Algari token of merit, but I think grabbing the shoulders is perfectly fine. Before I do that though, I'm just quickly going to check that I do actually have catalyst charges. I'm 99.9% sure that I do, but I want to make sure. I can't be risking it. I have exactly one, so I'll just use it on those shoulders, and I think that'll be fine. I think hero tier piece is not a bad idea, because otherwise I have to grab an Algari token of merit, because none of the other options really interests me at all. Although now that I'm thinking about it, I'm considering playing this character after the series, so maybe long term this token of merit might be better, because later on I might have, or probably will have, myth pieces coming in from the vault. So sacrificing one hero piece for a socket on my crafted items might actually be the call here. All right, for the sake of the series, I would take this. If I was only interested in the series, I would take the shoulders, but since I am probably going to play this character after the series ends, because I'm really enjoying Holy Paladin, I'm going to go for the Algari token of merit in the service of longevity. Like long term, I do believe the Algari token of merit is going to be more useful, and I'm immediately going to get sad. And I don't mean like emotionally, I'm just going to get this item. It's called sad. Socket adding device. We're going to upgrade our Aeroforge Great Belt. It's going to now be a pretty great belt. It was a good belt to begin with, but now it really is a great belt. Let us quickly just buy ourselves a gem. So I have a sapphire, I have a ruby, I have a emerald, and now I can get myself an onyx, I guess. So we're going to go for a quick onyx, which is going to have haste and mastery, and that'll give us more gems that'll then further empower the what was it called? Culminating blasphemite that we have in here. So that's wonderful. Let us quickly grab the auction house thingy, or rather grab the gem, whatever, and slap that in there. Nice. That feels like an improvement. No item level gain, obviously, but I feel like it's still worth getting. Okay, with that out of the way, we can now take a look-see and see what exactly we're going to be doing. I don't know. In the previous episode, we did a motherload, which is now our worst clear everything else. We've 2-starred. We even 3-starred Priory of Sacred Flame on the stream, by the way. This is where I did all these other 2s. So you can check out the VOD section, or rather the live section of this YouTube channel, to find all of those clears. I don't want to do it. Like, this is my worst clear. I guess I'll do it on stream on a +4 and improve it there. So I'm going to look for something other than motherload. I might actually, let's actually do that, and let's just stop flying around Dornegal. It's just so bad. I always have a bunch of FPS drops when I do that, and I still keep doing it for videos. It's kind of stupid. I'm going to quickly switch over to our handy dandy random name picker, or rather our wheel of names. We're going to click it to spin it. I've removed motherload to make sure that we don't get it again, and it looks like we're going to go into a floodgate +4. Hopefully there is one being hosted so that we can join it and be nice and happy about that. We're just going to remove the floodgate thing and get back to World of Warcraft. Now, I'd like to make it clear, I do know I can just simply go into higher key levels, but I kind of feel like I would just zip through the challenge that way. This way, we're at least getting 5 episodes. Otherwise, I'd just be skipping straight to the, oh no, this is a very bad situation. There's no 4 floodgates. Is there 4 of anything? Yeah, there's not many people doing 4 keys. but I could probably get into 6 keys just fine. Do we skip 4s, guys? Do we have to skip 4s? Or do I just not do Motherload and go for some, or sorry, not Motherload. Do I just skip Floodgate and go for one of these keys that is actually available to me? I think that might be what I have to do, just because I don't have an actual Floodgate key of my own that I can do. I'll have to just join whatever else I can. Let's do Darkflame Cleft if possible, because Darkflame Cleft is actually pretty painful. The second boss is a pain in the ass to heal, and the third boss is an actual heal check. So I'm gonna take a look and see if I can heal through those on a +4. And other than that, I don't really know what else to try for. I don't want a Motherload run, that is for sure. I'll just apply to all the workshop runs. I'll apply to any +4 that I can other than Motherload. I'm sorry for not going for the Floodgate like the random name picker said I should. There's no runs. So I need to do what I can do. It is understandable though, because it's 9:36 a.m. So your boy can only join what there is to join. So I'm gonna head over back to the wheel of names and re-add Floodgate and remove workshop. Maybe after I'm done with this. I'm so gonna forget to do that, and I'll have to do it next time I spin the wheel. Whatever, doesn't matter. I'll talk to you once we're in the dungeon. And here we go with a +4 Ascendant, it's Darkflame Cleft. I was supposed to do a workshop, but people were literally just sitting in Dornegal waiting for summons, and I was the only person at the spot where you could summon, so like I just gave up on that key. I said, screw this group, and left. I said I'm not having any of that. Because seriously, like, I sat there for 5 minutes. I'm not wasting my time watching people not do a dungeon. So anyway, we're going for some, well, this is a safe pull. It looks like we're just fighting 2 of these wick lighters. We are dragging these guys over. Okay, we got another, a double pull or whatever. Let's look for some Dispel Seers, which is what is required for this section of the dungeon. Because honestly, these wick lighters, if they're not interrupted, you're gonna have to deal with the dots of them hitting people. There's also the mole herds. It looks like Tank wants to pull some more mobs. I'm gonna focus on doing damage to the mole herd, because he is the one throwing rocks at everyone and doing a bit of damage to the group. There is nothing to be knocked back by the Overseer, so that works out quite well. Overpowering Roar goes out. We're just going to counter it with a quick, what are these called? Holy Prism, that's the one. And the affix did just spawn in. I thought it was going to be Pulsar, but apparently it is Ascendant, so we have a thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What's this called? We have the little Orbeez that need to be blinded by yours truly or handled by somebody else in the group. Alright, we're going to go ahead and do the Divine Toll thing where we pop off and do a bazillion healing. Lots of these casts going through, but we do manage to get triple kicks in here right now, which is very nice. We're going to dispel the person that's lower HP. We're going to beam one of these enemies to heal everyone else, and then we're going to go ahead and apply 2 Dawn Lights. That should keep us safe while we blast the bejesus out of these. Would love for this Wick Lighter to just die. There we go. Now we can dispel the last person that was affected by the debuff. I failed to do my kick on the mole herd. That is unfortunate, but what can you do? Tank is kind of running back and forth. Okay, I should focus on healing and not on what the tank is doing. But he was a little confused as to how to group those up. That's perfectly fine. We still have a blind available, so we're going to go ahead and use that here. Take care of the rest of the orbs. Now, the next time the orbs come out, I will have to actually look for somebody else to do them, because I can only do them every so often. Unless I can turn undead. Actually, turn undead is also... I think a 15-second cooldown, is it? Yeah, it's a 15-second cooldown. Turn evil now affects 5 additional enemies. Maybe I can make that work. If I can use turn evil on the orbs, which I don't think I can, but if I can use turn evil on the orbs, I might be able to do that. As a Blood Elf Paladin, what you can do is you can use your Blood Elf racial to actually handle that just fine, because the Blood Elf racial counts as the magic dispel, and those shields on those things are magic, like a magic buff. So dispelling magic actually ends up being exactly what you need for it. We are absolutely destroying this boss, and I love to see it, honestly, because I don't like this boss. Ooh, I almost got run over. Gotta be careful with that. Don't want to be getting run over by this boss. Or not by this boss, but by the mobs. Or the carts, or whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna let one of those things in the background just go off if it needs to. If nobody else handles it, that's perfectly fine. We did get up all 10 of our stacks. We're gonna go ahead and give bop to the person that is being targeted by the luring candle flame. That way they don't get their butthole flossed too much by these laborers. And that is the first boss dead. Very quick, this group, doing a lot of damage. I think the person with the least gear is the rogue? No, it is or BM Hunter. But they're all doing quite good damage. I thought the Rogue had the least gear because they have the lowest max HP. I guess that just doesn't work like that. I guess Hunters have extra max HP thanks to some talents. So gear is not the only thing that affects it. Bit of a heal check here with the damage coming out from these big candles. Nothing to worry about though. We do have to worry about these bonks from the little task workers or whatever the hell these things are. Gotta make sure that they don't ruin our day. The Rogue is about to get bonked again. Nope, he managed to move out of the way of the next bonk before it happened, so that is wonderful. Trying to put down both my consecrations. This one thing I need to work on is putting down my actual consecration. I use judgment quite a bit, so I have that consecration down, but I don't use my actual consecration as often as I could. We're gonna go over here and blind all of that. I did take a tick of damage to do so, but I'd rather take that tick of damage than those 10 stacks going off and ruining our day by making the mobs immune to damage. I do believe somebody else would have handled it, and I probably could have taken a safer path to them, but that ended up working out just fine as well. I'm just going to help the tank group these. There was one that he walked past in his arc to get to everything. I cannot use my blind here, so I have to be careful and just probably have to just heal our way through this big time. There we go. Big heals for the group. Everyone's nice and safe. I saw a comment pointing out that I am not tracking Eternal Flame. I think it's not that big of a hot to really deal with. Of course, it is ticking onto our, what are these guys called? Our beacon of light targets. I feel like I do get a little cluttered here. But I guess between Dawnlight and that being the only two hots that I really have to think about, I think it's okay. I'll think about it and see if I can get it set up. It shouldn't be too difficult. I can just duplicate some of these WeakAuras I already have, and also I could maybe consider making it with dynamic WeakAuras. Now, people are very good. Oh my god, we got 6 candles. Holy, that is amazing. Look at that. That's 6 out of 8 candles. Only 2 stacks of the actual debuff. That is wonderful. I'm not going to break any of these. I'm just going to move away. And then we're going to use Divine Toll here to make sure everyone is safe. Everyone does seem to manage to avoid all of these. We have 2 extinguishes. I intentionally avoided extinguishing one because I did not want more dots. The more you extinguish, the more dots you get here after the next little thing that the boss does. So ideally you only extinguish one. In hierarchies, people put down a marker so that people know which one has to get extinguished, and then they don't extinguish any other ones. Alright, we're going to Aura Mastery this because it does quite a bit of damage, and we're going to Holy Prism into a Dawnlight on myself and this other person that is not max HP. Oh, one is on me this time around. Okay, I did not expect it considering that, unfortunately, I wasn't able to deal with that. We're going to blind these. I just didn't expect it because last time it was not on me. Or was it? Am I stupid? We're going to avoid extinguishing here. Boss goes down. Everyone is nice and safe. I was so confuddled because of the because of the extinguish going on. Or rather the wick light thing going on me. Okay. The guy said come here, and then he walks out into the hallway after I pull. Okay. I guess I should have just I don't know. I should have just let him pull, but he was being slow about it. But that is a good tactic. That is a good tactic right there. I shouldn't have probably pulled for him. I don't know. I just, in my brain, was like, okay, everyone's already there. I'm gonna just do what he wants to do himself. Also, I've noticed sometimes people will hit the big guy instead of hitting the little guys. And if you hit the big guy, first of all, the big guy in the big candle in here does not give percent for some reason. It just does not. Oh, I just bubbled for nothing. We're going to, I don't have bop available for 2 more seconds. We're gonna have to heal another one here. Oh, hold on. There we go. Big heals. Big heals. Sorry, I'm just so lost in the sauce. But yeah, if you hit the big guy in there before you hit any of the little ones, he stays alive instead of just exploding from the little ones doing whatever it is they're doing. And then you have to deal with that nonsense instead of just being able to kill the little ones. This guy's being choked out, but I'm not too worried about it. Wait, how is he getting hit? Never mind. I misunderstood. I'm so confused right now because of... why am I so confused? Anyway, whatever. I'm trying to catch up on things I'm explaining, and it's just not working out. So I'm just going to shut up and move on. Here, one thing I do want to say is you could bop the person that is being choked out by Torch Snarl, and it'll drop them from Torch Snarl's grip. Also, as a hunter or a rogue, you can vanish when you're being targeted by that, and that'll work just fine. We're going to walk over to the edge here with our back to this. That way, they kind of stack up. We had a ranged person just kind of go over to the side, which is not ideal. We're going to use the pickaxe to break that one, though, because that one we can't stack up on. Okay. Also, what I need to do is I need to heal people up a little bit because this is a heal check boss. All right, there we go. 2 dawn lights go out. Take care of all that healing necessary. Pickaxe is coming out. I'm going to move out of the way just to make sure I don't get hit by the pickaxe. We take out 1 paranoid mind. Ooh, I was worried. I am not necessary anywhere because we've taken care of all of those. I could just walk off to the side and keep everyone safe from my circle. That person that's ranged needs to step closer, but they don't know that, and that's perfectly fine. We're going to put out some more dawn lights, make sure everyone's nice and healthy. Beautiful. I'm going to use my... The stacking on these has been great. I'm going to use my, what's it called? Wings here. That'll put dawn light on everyone. That keeps us very, very safe. Kicks have also been really nice. There has been no point where I've been worried about the kick. Maybe at the start, but then I saw people are actually kicking, so it worked out quite nicely. There's not much I can do about these. Hopefully somebody does take care of them. They do. Beautiful. We have 10 stacks of the buff. We can move on into the teeny tiny little pull here that we do. We'll see what the tank wants to do. He might want to run ahead. Tank is running ahead with the darknesses. He's going the wrong way, though. He didn't check which way. He didn't check which way that thing was gonna go. I'm gonna grab a candle myself and try to drag these out. Okay, that works out. That works out quite well. Tank is trying to do a bit of fancy pants maneuvers here, but he didn't check which way the cart was gonna go, so he ran to the other side. So we kind of had to deal with one of these doing their thing. Let's give our friends a bit of extra space here by moving our candle into the thingy thing with the stuffy stuff into the cart. We give some movement speed to our warrior friend who wants to run ahead, again going the wrong direction. Okay, well, it's a good thing the healer is here, so I could just keep doing my thing here until the tank shows up with some more friends for us to hang out with. There we go. We'll kick that, make sure nothing happens, that the light doesn't get drained too much, and I think we're okay here. The rogue kicks the second one. Perfect. I understand what the tank wants to do, but it's just funny to me because he just went the wrong way twice. I don't know if that's intentional or not. Maybe it is. If it is, fair enough. But I'm guessing in hierarchies, even these little darknesses hitting a non-tank will be problematic at best. Tank does not seem to understand that this goes left, right, or right, left. So the alternating pattern of movement that the cart does is lost upon our tank. He didn't quite catch that feature of the dungeon, but it's okay. Not a big deal. A complete non-issue. It's a +4 key with people that actually do damage, so it's kind of just a joke no matter what happens. It's going to be a potential 3-star here. Nah, with how long the minecart event is, I don't think it's going to be a potential 3-star. We had some extra pulls in here. Due to the tank going on the sides, and we have 99.48%. So I think what we can do is we can well, only pull the one group that you need to get to the next boss. We're missing 0.52%, which is, I think these little darknesses give 0.52. No, a shuffling horror gave 0.52. I don't know what the little darkness thingies give. Whatever they give, it is going to be more than enough to get us percent with the next pull that we do, because we have to pull quite a few. I think it's 2 creepers or 5 and 6 little darkness mobs. So yeah. Sorry, by the way, if I'm like not explaining all the things I'm doing. It's because like we're going through the dungeons so quickly and every fight is so short that I just don't have an opportunity to really say everything I want to say about it. So there's that. But we're now ready to move on for the last trash pull before the last boss. Let's see what direction the tank decides to go in. He leaps forward, jukes me out. I thought he was going to go down the center, but it works out. He goes here. That is more than enough percent for us. Very nice indeed. I don't feel the need to really heal or anything. I'm just going to put a cleanse onto the tank, and then any sort of extra healing that I do through consecration or through my judgment or through anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and use that, heal everything up. Let's see, does anyone handle these? Let's stun and kick. That should be plenty. We're going to dispel the tank, give him a big holy shock, and then heal him up. Root words of glory, and or rather eternal flames is what they're called with this hero specialization, whatever. I'm pulling. Tank was moving the thingy with the stuff, the little handle. I guess it works if you move it to the center here, then you have more options on which of these to pick up. Our friend doesn't quite understand the idea behind the mechanic, which is if you have a circle, you move and you grab a candle. It's simple as that. I'm gonna move this over here. Hopefully this person could step into the light here in a moment. That is wonderful. Eternal darkness comes out. We're gonna go ahead and grab this candle. I'm close enough to get the candle and also take care of all the healing I used my wings there because I knew people were going to take a whole bunch of damage. The other hunter does figure out how it works. Tank grabs a candle as well. We are now at full blast on the candle. We're going to pick this up and move it over to here. That should be perfect. Not much to heal right now, so I'm focusing on some damage. I have blinding light that'll be able to take care of all of these. We're stunning the last one that I missed with my blinding light. I think it just hadn't landed yet. I'm not 100% sure. Or it probably did. I think they landed pairs, so I think it had landed already. Shadow blast on this person. We're going to give them movement speed and a sack real quick because that does quite a bit of damage. Somebody's going to move the candle, which means I can go and grab this. Oh, never mind. The boss is already dead. We did end up actually 3-starring it. That is wonderful. Well played by this group. They knew what was going on for the most part, so it was really, really nice to play with them. Thank you for the run. What a smooth run. All right. I'm going to show my YouTube channel. I don't really need to reroll my key because it's a 2, so I don't really care. And I'm going to peace out. That was fun. I actually had fun doing that. It was an 18-minute run, so I feel like I should probably do another one. Because it's just a bit too short of a video if I just do this one run. Let's do another 4. That just means we'll have fewer 4s to do later on. I'm not going to bother going for a floodgate. I'll just take literally whatever I can, like this Priory, because there's only 2+4 keys listed. I'll apply to the Priory, hopefully I get invited, and we'll see how that works out. There we go. We're in the Priory run. Hopefully this group forms, and then I'll go do a Priory. If not, you'll see me in another key. Because I do want to run 2 keys, because like I said, 18 minutes for one run is just not not enough for an actual video. Hopefully this key is just as quick and it doesn't end up being a super long video, but we'll see. And here we go with another +4. This time it is a Priory of the Sacred Flame. The group you can see in the bottom right corner of the screen. Tanks running ahead, grabbing things, grabbing aggro. People are already blasting the DPS, which is not going to help the tank maintain aggro at all. Tank is going into the middle, pulling one knight. The other knight will inevitably be pulled when we go ahead and have the patrol turn around. We'll see how it ends up working out, but let's focus our attention on healing the person with Impale. That's going to be the first source of damage here. Knockbacks abound, knockbacks aplenty. Just going to grab this buff real quick for the group here. We're going to Divine Toll and make sure everyone is nice and healthy. We're going to go ahead and make sure we are nice and healthy by using Bubble. And this is the point where the second knight joins us because we stood in the path of its patrol. We should be okay though because the group is absolutely blasting the bejesus out of these mobs. I'm going to ping danger because these guys might get pulled if that guy keeps staying there. And then we're going to go ahead and actually heal that guy. There we go. Beautiful. We're going to put a Dawn Light on ourselves, which will keep everyone nice and healthy because then they get healed through the holy beacons or beacons of light or whatever the heck. Lots of defends are up, but we have lots of knockbacks apparently. I'm going to use a blind here to take care of these. I was saving my blind for the affix. And we have another Divine Toll available. We're going to go ahead and use it. We are just focusing our heals on whoever has Impale. And then, of course, whenever the pot shots go out, we do try to make sure that those are handled accordingly. It's only a little bit of damage considering the key level, but you don't want to ignore it for too long because you might start falling behind on the healing. Okay, beautiful. 800k HPS does the trick here just fine. Not much to heal, so not much to get in HPS. I'm going to be very interested to see what the healing is going to be like once we get upstairs to that area where the paladins are and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and look for a kick here. Oh, the tank realizes they should probably move over to the casters. That works fine, yeah, sure. I'm hoping the tank doesn't get knocked back here like he probably will directly into some mobs. He does move over to the side. Cool, that works out quite well. I'm going to kick this. Okay, somebody else kicked it. My kick was on cooldown, so no wonder I couldn't kick it. I was a little confused by that, apparently. I stunned the defending footman, and now I don't have blind again for these, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. But a knock-up or something comes down. It was probably the hunter's implosive trap. Why do I know that? Because it's on cooldown over here, and also because I've been tracking... I've been playing a bit of marksmanship. I've been trying to gear one up. I opened up the vault today and got really nice boots with a lot of crit, which is good for marksmanship, and also avoidance, so I'm very happy with that. It was a myth piece, so those are going to stay on my footsies for a good long while on that hunter. Complete sidetrack by that. We're going to go ahead and reapply the buff if we can. Yes, 29 minutes means I already applied it the first time I went to apply it while I was still healing. That first pull that we did, which was pretty massive, honestly. Luckily, it is only a +4, so that massive pull was not too dangerous for us. And we also have people that are relatively geared and also doing respectable damage, so everything is working out quite nicely. Of course, there's the Shadow Priest in the group, which I just feel sorry for them. That class just kind of sucks right now. It's just not great. We're going to blind to take care of the rest of those. And then we're looking here, whenever the sharpshooters are in effect, I'm looking to see if somebody gets trapped by stepping into one of the traps, obviously. And if we need to drop a, whatchamacallit, a Blessing of Freedom on them. Why would we need to do that? Well, because the Blessing of Freedom will remove the actual, root effect, which will also remove the bleed effect, which is very, very nice. A knockback comes through. Hopefully people stop casting for the interrupt that the knight was casting, and I guess we just holy shock our way through this. I don't know, man. There's no damage happening. Nobody's taking any damage. The only person using defensives, well, actually, I should commend this hunter for using their defensives. They're using them quite efficiently, and I like to see that. They've used both their charges of defensives, probably because they kept getting the bleed put on them. Our druid friend doesn't really give a shit about defensives. Oh, see, I stepped into a trap there. I'm going to give myself freedom by giving someone else freedom and take care of that really, really quick. Because I have a talent that lets me, okay, double light spawn pull. Okay, that's fine. I have a talent that puts freedom on somebody else after I put it on myself as well. Okay, we're going to look for a divine toll here. This person's going to get a sack because they have 2 of these beaming down on them. We seem to be able to out heal that just fine. Doesn't seem to be as damaging as I expected it to be. Beautiful beam comes down from one of the balancers from a balance druid. I'm going to use a defensive here, and I'm going to heal the bejesus out of this person. Beam myself, heal myself as well. 2 circles come down. We don't have to worry about that. Light spawn does bursts of light. Does that actually kill it? It does. We have a blind available for this. Stun and a kick. That takes care of it. And we have a dawn light ready for the tank here, who was starting to take quite a bit of damage from the neophytes. Now, if I had been distracted like that in a hierarchy, the neophytes might have actually taken down our tank, but I think our tank managed it just fine with a bunch of iron fur stacks. Can't really see into iron fur. What I really should do is I should do WeakAuras that are going to show up over here and tell me if these units have their buffs, like some sort of active mitigation. If a tank is using, I don't know, shield block, ignore pain, stuff like that. So I can see whether those are active or not on the tank. That'll also tell me, like early on into a run, whether the tank is actually doing them correctly or not. And by doing them correctly, what I mean is if the tank is actually using them constantly and having good uptime on them. Like Demon Spikes on a VDH, Shield of the Righteous on a Prod Paladin, so on and so forth. Tank is going to pull just this guy, it seems like. He has interrupted. Is he dragging anywhere else? I can't really tell. He doesn't seem to be pulling anything else, so we're going to go ahead and just beat the bejesus out of them all right here. We're going to try and do as much damage as possible. Everyone has used their interrupts. Okay, the priest got their interrupt out just in time to prevent the debuff from going on to... Okay, this person has 2 interrupt add-ons spamming the chat. You don't even need one of them. Just get rid of them, my guy. Okay, Ember Storm comes down. This is an opportunity for us to pull extra mobs. Hopefully I don't step into any more boo-boo here. There we go. That's nice. Nobody pulled the mobs off to the side. I respect it. Why does this person have 2 interrupt add-ons? It's so much. First of all, you're spamming it into party chat, which, like, it just covers the area for me and I can't see. Actually, this is an opportunity for me to ask. Do you guys know any good chat add-ons that are, or chat bubble add-ons that are going to get rid of that? Because that is like super duper annoying to me. I really, really don't like it. We're going to dispel the tank as quickly as possible. Savage Mauling gets interrupted basically instantly, so there was no issue with that. But yeah, I'm super annoyed by chat bubbles being as big as they are. I know LVUI takes care of it, but I don't want to get LVUI and the entirety of LVUI just for one feature of it, which is one of the things I absolutely despise about LVUI is there's a bunch of cool stuff in it, but most of it I do not need. So if I get LVUI, like maybe I can turn it off, but also at the same time, I don't want to have to turn off 52 settings to use one part of an add-on. I don't know. Anyway. No LVUI rant. I just wanted to know if there's a good chat add-on you could, or chat bubble add-on that you could recommend. I would be very happy if you could. All right, so far no one really standing in anything. Holy Radiance comes out. I don't really even feel anyone taking particular amounts, high amounts of damage. The priest does get charged and ravaged or whatever that is. Oh, okay, I sneezed that debuff off of the tank. That's good. Oh my goodness, I didn't mean to do that like that. Whatever, we'll give the tank 2 Dawn Lights because it extends the duration, and I feel like it's perfectly fine. They're the one taking the most damage, so they may as well get a Dawn Light for their trouble. This person's targeted by Savage Mauling. Mauling, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. I'm gonna Divine Toll again, get these big heals out, as many big heals as we can. Beautiful. We're going to blind all of these away, and that is the boss fight done. Now let's see how aggressively the tank pulls. I'm curious to see how it goes. Not very aggressively at all. That's perfectly fine. We don't have Bloodlust, so we can't go for the quintuple Paladin pull, because that is a little bit scary without a way to kill them quickly. That being said, it is a +4, so maybe we could have just done it anyway and just brute forced it, but I'd rather not have to deal with that. Okay, it's Prism here, and then when the second one goes out, that is when I put out the Dawn Lights. The Dawn Lights gonna do some great healing for us here. Beautiful. Another Sacred Soul is about to go out. We're going to counter it with a with a Divine Toll. Quickly heal up everyone else, and that is easy peasy lemon squeezy. We get some movement speed to our friend here. He wants to pull this group and the group behind it. I kind of like this route. That's actually kind of nice. That makes sense to me. You don't get surprised by one of them joining you before you're really ready for it, and then the other side you can also take out and do in the same way, so that's quite nice. I don't have any way to stop these. I'm gonna lay on hands myself. Unfortunately, my blind just came off cooldown as these expired, but we do get 10 stacks. That is all I care about. Divine Toll is going to be used to recover from these guys' Sacred Toll, but it doesn't seem like there's a second one. We're gonna go ahead. Okay, there's the second one. We're gonna go ahead and beam one of the enemies, which will put a bunch of healing on people in and of itself, and then we're going to cover the rest of it with Dawn Lights, and I think that is pretty much it. There we go. You get 2 Dawn Lights when you use thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. You also get 1 when you pop your extra wings from getting Awakening. I'm at 12 stacks right now, so that's what's informing me down here that I have 12 stacks. Tank line of sights them with the pillar. I like that. I'm going to keep everything moving. Big beam comes down. Waiting for the first Sacred Toll. Divine Toll takes care of that. Counters it quite nicely. And we have another Sacred Toll coming out right now. We're going to counter that with these. I'm going to stun that heal in the background and reapply my consecrations. We have a bunch of divine, or what are these called? Dawn Lights out at the same time. We're going to go ahead and kick this really quick. We don't want that heal to go through. I don't know. I didn't really check what it was targeting, but, you know, it could heal potentially a Paladin, and we really don't want that to happen because it is a pain in the booty hole to have to fight a guy extra long when he does those big AoEs. Okay, tank wants us to stack on them, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Range DPS, as per usual, not really participating in the whole stacking thing, but it works out. 2 hammers here, 1 hammer there. We should be okay. Should move a little bit in this direction. We wait for the whatchamacallits. We should wait for the castigator shields so people don't die to them. I immediately went for a whatchamacallits, Divine Toll here to make sure everyone's stopped off before we have to do anything. Blind goes out, takes care of all of them. Okay, that was a little bit of a pain in the booty hole there because people went into soak before it was necessary, first of all, and before the castigator shields went out. So we're going to have to keep an eye on everyone's health here and make sure that if they start going in there too soon, yep, like right now, we use wings, have to get out of this immediately. Soak after shields, not during, please. It's a bit hard to heal. None of you are using defensives other than the hunter, so like just chill. Shields are gonna come out now. I'm gonna give myself freedom just to be able to more easily move out of it. This is very annoying because the group is soaking before the shields go out, which is really annoying. I don't have blind, but I can stun and kick, and hopefully that is enough to keep us going through this. People are moving over to get it done. Okay, not a huge fan of this, I have to admit. Not a huge fan of this because the group is doing the encounter wrong. People run into that soak way too soon, but we handle it with some extra healing. I shouldn't have to do this much to be able to get this key level cleared, but in future, soak after shields go out or you'll kill the party. Okay, hold on. I'm getting salty and sassy because people are doing the fight wrong, and it scares me because like I'm gonna have to go into hierarchies and heal even more intense damage there and I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But then again, it's not my fault if people do the fight wrong and take too much damage because of it. It's not my fault that they died. Sacred Toll goes out. We're going to go ahead and counter it with just some raw healing. I don't think we need to spend anything. And for this one, we're going to send out a Dawn Light, and that should cover everything. We have the little circles coming through. I'm not going to bother sending my blind on this because it's too long of a cooldown. The knockbacks that the druids have are much shorter cooldown, and they can utilize that. Okay, he wants us to line of sight over here. She, sorry, my apologies. I don't know. I'm going to look for a kick on that Risen Mage in case it wants to cast a fireball volley at us. I'm more scared of that. There's the volley. We're going to go ahead and kick it. Beautiful. We're able to now just focus on the healing. Let us do so by sending out some Dawn Lights here and a Divine Toll as well to get us a bunch of holy power, as well as hit everyone with a Holy Shock. Little note, if you use Divine Toll on an ally, what will happen is the other Holy Shocks that go out will target allies. If you use it on an enemy, the other ones will target other enemies as well. Unfortunately, we have one of the Light Shard or whatever this Light Spawn heal, what is this called? Heal the Paladins. I'm going to try and take out the one Paladin. Well, take out. I shouldn't really call it that because I do like no damage, but I'm going to focus my damage on the lower HP Paladin. That's what I was trying to say. But yes, it's very useful to know how the extra Holy Shocks will go out and deal damage or healing depending on what you're targeting with them. That's why I have a mouse over for it, and I always make sure to actually use it on an ally if the whole group needs healing. I'm going to stun this and kick this. There we go. And we should be okay for this. I still have my blind in case of emergency. I need to heal myself a whole bunch because I'm taking a bunch of damage from this. Extra mobs have been pulled. It's the dangerous patrol. Luckily, we're not pulling the patrol into Brawnpike. That would be very interesting, to say the least. We're going to go ahead and kick one of the volleys and being beamed down along with this person. Let's put Dawn Lights out. That's one Dawn Light on yours truly. The other one goes on the Hunter. The Hunter does use the defensive. This Hunter's great, by the way. It's beautiful to see someone using defensives this much in a +4 key. The beam is definitely worth using a defensive on. It is extremely painful, so that is something to consider. Another beam goes out. This time it's one from our side. It is a solar beam interrupting this volley. We're going to stun the volley because nobody else has kicks available. I think I actually just wrecked the Hunter's kick, but it's okay. I have my kick coming up. I can use it to make sure that volley doesn't go out. Now, I do think... I don't know if anyone died. Actually, no, we have 0 deaths. That's beautiful. People are here on top of the orbs, and they actually use their CC at the orbs, so it is a-okay. I don't have a kick available for that, but we do seem to handle it just fine. Okay, time for some actual healing. We accidentally pull an extra group. This is going to make it a little bit more interesting. Let's put it that way. I'm going to put a Dawn Light on myself. We're going to kick this heal. No, we're not. We're going to blind it. I can't let that heal go through. I don't know who it's healing or what it's healing, but I cannot let it go through. Okay, Blazing Strike goes out. We're going to go ahead and pop wings here, and that should keep everyone very, very safe. I can pretty much just purely focus on damage while I have wings, but I'm going to just make sure everyone is nice and healthy. Feign Death goes out and takes care of that beam so he doesn't get beamed. The Lightspawn is about to start dying. Hopefully we can move Brawnpike away from that. We have a Divine Toll available. We'll go ahead and use it, give us a bunch of holy power, and then we can use more Words of Glory. Brawnpike goes down, and we end that fight at 1.34 million HPS, which is pretty nice. I'm pretty happy with that. I believe I'm going to be doing higher HPS once the damage is higher as well. We're going to stun this, kick the other one, and the group seems to take care of the rest of it. I have no kicks available for these priests, but I don't think they do enough damage for me to really worry about it at this key level, so we're just going to go ahead and keep shield slamming here. There's not really much happening. The reason is because this pull is just extremely safe. I'm pretty sure you can just take this pull straight into the boss and still have no issues with it. Other than maybe if the AoE from the footman dying at the same time as the boss doing a big AoE, that might be a bit of an issue. But here we're going to prep for some damage. A bunch of them die at the same time. It is not enough to one-shot anyone, so we are safe here. No issues whatsoever. We're not going to Bloodlust at start. We should Bloodlust P2. I think Bloodlusting P2 is a lot better, because then even if people don't have cooldowns, at least they have Bloodlust so they can blast the bejesus out of that shield. Nobody gets the blind debuff, which is very, very good. Means I don't have to dispel anyone. Also means that they don't, I think they take extra damage. If you don't turn around, I think you just take straight up extra damage. So that's something to consider. I'm going to put out some Dawn Lights here. Well, actually, I'm going to wait for someone to actually take damage before I use Dawn Lights. People are taking care of the orbs, looking to see if anyone actually has any issues with it. Oh, I almost let that one go through by not turning around and kicking it. It does look like somebody took care of it with a thingy thing with the stuffy stuff with a single target CC. Okay, trying to make sure I don't run that beam over anyone else. We're gonna go with a kick real quick onto this holy smite or whatever. Okay, everything works out. I have blind available for the ads coming in. We'll see which side most ads go. It seems to be a pretty even split. Most are on this side, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to see which side the hunter drops his trap on. I'm just going to go down here and blind. Just blind them. There's a tar trap over there. We can avoid it. Avoid most of these mobs. I'm just trying to make sure... Okay, none of the mobs reached anything. I'm surprised there was no binding shot going down, but that's perfectly fine. I went down and blinded them while they were running up, just because that way I can really take care of a bunch of them. Divine Toll to recover from that damage being taken. And that is the boss dead. We blasted the bejesus out of it. Oh, we're missing percent. We did the Vlad route. This is what I did as a tank pretty much every single time I got in here, is I just didn't have a little tiny bit of percent. We can actually focus on killing the priest. The priest will be enough in and of itself, I do believe. We need 0.31% and the priest gives 0.62. So the priest can just get its butt whooped and we can handle that. I just haven't had a reason to use wings much, and it's kind of annoying. Like, I want more damage events so I can actually do more damage. I'm gonna shield the YouTube channel and peace out after I loot the chest. Really fun. That was a really fun run. These guys were great. I really enjoyed my run with them. The hunter played extremely well. The tank's route was great, other than missing the tiny bit of percent, which is easy to do because honestly there's a lot of mobs but not many of them give much percent. So I'm going to peace out now after shilling the YouTube channel, and that was just fun. That was a fun Priory run. I was expecting more of a shit show in the +4s, honestly, and the +2s, but on every single run I've done so far on this character has just been great. The first run that we had, the Motherload, which was only 1-starred at a +2 key level, yeah, sure, that was a bit of a shit show. It was mostly from the, whatchamacallit, the DK just being extremely new to the game for what I could tell. Either that or just not giving a shit or playing without a damage meter or something. I don't know, because like if I had a damage meter on my screen and it showed me consistently at the bottom while playing a DPS character, I'd like try to learn a bit more. I feel like that would guilt me into learning a bit more about how to actually play it. But it doesn't matter. I hope the DK had fun in that run. They're doing +2s, so we can be perfectly fair and say they are learning. Anyway, with this run, I will have to bid you actually no. Before I forget, I'm gonna make a WeakAuras. I'm gonna make a WeakAuras that tracks, what are they called? Eternal Flame. I'm gonna do that really quick.
One eternity later.
All right, all of the cooldowns are now back up, so let's go ahead and get some holy power really quick. There we go. So we have Eternal Flame, it moves. We have a Dawn Light, it moves. We have a Bop, it moves yet again. Beautiful. That is exactly what we want. So we're going to move our Beacon of Faith over to this, and Beacon of Light. There we go. That should work as well. I don't have a Bop anymore, but it did move for the Bop, so I think I'm okay with that. And then a Dawn Light on ourselves will also move it, so we are expecting it to move for everything. Now, sorry for this tangent at the end. I just really wanted to get that Eternal Flame tracker down so people can enjoy that and see just how much we get value out of having Eternal Flame. Somebody pointed out that I should track it on the WeakAuras just to make sure who has it and who doesn't, so I can put it up on people that don't have the beacons on them, and that way I can get some extra healing from the hot itself. That is, I think, what their idea was. Also, they suggested that I can move the Beacons of Light and Faith around as necessary. I so far haven't really felt the need to do that because I've been able to just spot heal things, but I guess I shouldn't do it like moment to moment. I probably don't need to do that. Maybe if I notice that someone doesn't have defensives and that there's damage coming up, I should probably move it then. That is something I might take into consideration, but for the most part, I feel like that is a bit too much micromanagement for the key levels that I'm doing. So for now, I'm going to just stick to doing what I'm doing, which is blasting the HPS as much as I can and just having fun with it. All right, friends, that's actually pretty much it for this video. This time around for really. for realsies, no joke, no cap, as the kids say. Hold on, let me get rid of this beacon thing. I don't like that shining over me like that. That doesn't feel fun. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below, and I bet it was the WeakAuras. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. If you want to see what happens between these episodes, you can check out the stream. Shortly after this video goes live, I will be streaming some more +4 keys, so come hang out. Of course, if you can't make it to the stream, you can check out the VODs on the live section of this YouTube channel. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. I have no idea if that was a lot of healing or not, but I had fun doing it because I just pressed 2 buttons. Actually, no, 3.